apply it to the door. Yes, apply is the proper word. You're doing great. All right, off you go. I'll keep
Welcome
working
under
on
the
this
dome,
lock.
an amazing excursion to a world of new technology and the riddles of an ancient civilization. Listen to this information, useful for all.
You see a tall sign. The man turns. He glances from you to the glittering watch on his wrist.
I want us to respect one another's time. Please speak loudly, clearly, and to the point. You must be the newcomer I was told about. Nice to meet you.
Finished with his unusual greeting, he offers you his thin hand. The scientist puts the clipboard aside, raises his watch for a closer look, and sets the timer. He shows you his watch dial.
According to the rules of this briefing, I have to touch on a large number of topics. Therefore, I will do so very briefly. Do not interrupt me. When I'm finished, I'll answer your questions. Within regulations, of course.
Sebastian produces his handheld and clicks some buttons.
I checked your scanner. It's working and is connected to the Minerva database. Everything you scan will earn you Chronos or Forefathers knowledge points.
The instructor watches you with displeasure.
Are you listening? Scan everything that might be of scientific interest. First of all, anomalies. They could be dangerous. Make sure to always have medication with you.
He places a canvas pouch in your hand.
This pouch is full of bolts. You can temporarily discharge an anomaly by throwing a bolt into it. It's primitive, but reliable.
Van Olden pushes a button on his stopwatch.
So, my oral briefing fell within the allotted span of time. Any questions you want to ask me?
The scientist glances at his watch again.
You're within the time limit for questions. The next step is training in the artificial ecozone.
He rests one finger on the button in preparation to start the timer.
You're going to go downstairs and scan relics. I will be monitoring your progress. Please note there are several radioactive anomalies in the ecozone. These are the same conditions you'll be working in the field. Radioactive zones and relics are quite common under the dome.
He smoothly extracts a jar of yellow pills from his pocket.
Here's your Arad 3. And one more thing. Just a moment.
Please stand by for decontamination to end.
Ladies and gentlemen,
remember,
this
our
is
honest work
the
will
dome
make
of the
better
inside.
place. World
Victoria
a better
Place.
place.
As you can see, there are endless salt pans in the western region behind me. The sun reflects blindingly from the salt, and the air is as dry as the
Be careful around the anomalies. Touch one of them and you'll be injured. Toss a bolt at the anomaly to discharge it. Journal entry, a successful scanning attempt. You're doing all right so far. Go ahead.
Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place. Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Journal entry, 2 objects scanned. And again, watch out for anomalies. Touch one and you'll be injured. Toss a bolt at the anomaly to discharge it. Journal entry, all 3 objects have been successfully scanned. Come upstairs, employee.
Sebastian meets you on the platform.
Your finishing time is within the acceptable range.
He clicks the stopwatch button, fixing the result time. The scientist turns back to his notes.
Not bad. One question. You observed several anomalies while scanning. Why do you think they appeared? I'd like to hear your opinion.
The scientist assumes a superior expression.
I knew you'd come up with something like that. I see you understand nothing about the nature of anomalies. So let me add a couple of points.
He glances at the shimmering blue light in the eco-zone.
The truth is, we don't know the precise reason for these phenomenon either. We actually know nothing, no matter how much we try to convince ourselves otherwise.
Sebastian points a thin finger at the clustered lightning.
I personally believe that the anomalies are the dome's security mechanism. The ones you saw are relatively harmless, but there are different anomalies in the desert, phenomenon that toy with the human mind.
Van Olden clasps his hands behind his back.
I know you don't care, but I'll say it anyway. Scientists today are required to be wonder workers who can heal cancer with a wave of their hand and solve the secrets of the universe during their coffee break. For some reason, no one wants to understand that fundamental science is always an investment in the future. It produces no answers here and now.
The White's gaze strays back to his clipboard.
If something terrible happens under the dome one day, and I'm sure it will, science will protect no one. That is all. Off you go.
Please stand by for decontamination to end.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Dome from the Inside with me, Victoria LeGrand. As you can see, there are endless salt pans in the western region behind me. The sun reflects blindingly from the salt. And the air...
A middle-aged black is sitting behind the counter with his hands in his lap. The buttons and zippers on his uniform are polished to a shine, and even his badge, Winston Botherby, instructor, has been buffed so much it hurts to look at it. Botherby frowns as you approach.
Your first act is being late for the briefing. You going to be late for your funeral as well?
The black looks you over.
Yes, I see the weapon received checkmark. Looks like you are fully prepared to disappoint me. You are prepared, right, employee?
Botherby leans over the counter and directs you to the doors.
Behind this door is a combat simulation computer. Launch it and begin your course.
He raises his index finger.
The conditions in the training zone closely simulate those one would experience in the field. Your goal is to avoid getting lost and dying of dehydration. And try to aim the barrel away from yourself when shooting.
Pulling a notepad from his pocket, the instructor jots down your name.
Your goal is to hit 3 targets. I'm going to monitor you and advise as necessary. And try not to burst into tears. That's all.
I fully agree with you, but what if I told you that you would be aligned by
Can't help but say I'm stoked.
Victoria LeGrand. As you can see, there are endless salt pans in the western region behind me. The sun reflects blindingly.
Botherby nods grandly.
You made it through training without making a total fool of yourself. Congratulations. I'll send a report up the chain about your completely unanticipated success. You're dismissed, employee.
Sipping a margarita right on this spot. Sounds like a sci-fi story. But we aren't strangers to sci-fi here. The detailed plans are
Remember,
Greetings.
honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place.
casinos, spas, and therapeutic saunas.
And I was starting to.
But I'm sure I'll come here in a year and will feel like a real queen. This is Victoria LeGrand and the dome from the inside. See you next time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the dome from the inside with me, Victoria LeGrand. As you can see, there are endless salt pans in the western region behind me. The sun reflects blindingly from the salt, and the air is as dry as a nun's gusset. What an inhospitable wilderness, you'll say.
Attention,
And I fully
attention.
agree with you.
Please handle
What if
relics
I told
carefully.
you that
In
in a
case of
year,
damage,
you'll be
your life will
lying
be
by a
forfeit.
swimming pool, sipping a margarita right on this spot. Sounds like a sci-fi story, but we aren't strangers to sci-fi here. The detailed plans are ready.
A better
According
place.
to them, there will soon be a real resort city in the West, with bars, casinos, spas, and therapeutic saunas. I don't know about you, but I'm sure I'll come here in a year and will feel like a real queen. This is Victoria LeGrand and the dome from the inside. See you next time.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the dome from the inside with me, Victoria LeGrand. As you can see, there are endless
Hello again.
The sun reflects blindingly from the salt, and the air is as dry as a nun's gusset. What an inhospitable wilderness, you'll say. And I fully agree with
Welcome
you.
under the
But
dome,
what
an
if
amazing
I told
excursion
you
to a world of
that
new
in a
technology
year,
and the riddles of
you'll
an
be
ancient
lying by a
civilization.
swimming
Listen to this
pool.
information, useful for all wings, and receive a colorful leaflet. And the riddles of an ancient civilization. Listen to this information, useful for all wings, and receive a colorful leaflet.
Ed, spit it out. I can see that something's bothering you.
Well, it's a bit of a private matter, you see.
God. Come on already.
We can't just hand Miss Norway over to the Silvers, see? She's unique among relics.
Ed, we already discussed
Employee,
this.
please come
The
here.
relics
There's
that
an
we found
urgent
is
task for
well
you.
known. It's nothing but semantic.
Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place.
Howdy.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics.
See ya.
In case of damage, your life
How can I
will be
help?
forfeit. Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place.
The giant display glows welcomingly when you approach. A red light comes on under the screen's steel hood. The camera is switched on. A gray old man with high cheekbones appears and squints out at you from the screen.
Do you copy?
He leans close to the camera, his glasses glittering.
My name is Martin Kingsley. I'm Chief Officer of Magellan Base. We were supposed to meet in person, but unforeseen circumstances prevented that. One moment. I'll grab your file.
He reaches for something out of view and produces a thin folder with your name on the cover. Apparently, your file. Kingsley opens the folder to thumb through the pages. He marks one of the pages with a pencil.
Why did you choose Blackwing? There are other divisions in the corporation you could have worked in.
Kingsley's waiting for your answer. Martin nods and writes something down.
Cronus has much to offer. Varied assignments, our own training zone, and the opportunity to move up through the ranks.
Kingsley closes the file and folds his hands in front of him.
Thank you for your reply. I learned a little more about you. Now I want you to learn a little bit more about us. Keep in mind, this is not a rehearsed speech.
He assumes a serious expression.
When the dome was discovered in 1971, it became a scientific and media sensation, a worldwide phenomenon, and likely the most significant discovery in the history of mankind.
Kingsley drums his fingers on the unseen desk, his gaze focused somewhere beyond.
I see. You were enticed here by radio advertising, telefilms, and all those interviews, billboards at every turn. Cronus wants the world to see the dome as a stage where something merry and fascinating is going on. But now that you're actually here, I want you to see the real picture.
You can't make out his eyes behind the glare on his spectacles, but he seems to be staring directly at you.
Here's the truth. Nobody was waiting for us inside the dome. It's neither a treasury of technologies nor a cemetery of the ancients. Perhaps what we're doing now is defusing the world's most complicated bomb. Will our mission thrive? I believe so. If we work together and everybody does their part.
He looks back at your file.
I say, do what must be done. Because that's what the concept of the 5 wings is all about.
Kingsley points at the camera.
You're from Blackwing. Your duties are simple and straightforward. But you have to understand, everything you do is to maintain order and peace. Once people panic, they kill each other much quicker than the dome ever would.
Putting the folder aside, he sits back and stares at you in silence. It gets so quiet that the ticking of a clock can be heard through the speakers. Kingsley sighs quietly.
You were probably waiting for some boilerplate welcome speech. But I prefer to talk about real-world problems. Glad to meet you.
Martin nods slowly.
I apologize once again for this long-distance meeting. Now, as we don't have much time, I'd like to get to the point. I'm sure you're curious why you were taking off the bus to Magellan and brought here instead.
He moves closer to the camera.
I'm going to show you a short video. Please pay attention.
Kingsley's face freezes on screen.
I have an urgent mission for an employee of your background and qualifications. I'd have assigned someone from Magellan, but I'm short on personnel. That's why it has to be a newcomer. I apologize again for the rush, but it seems I have no choice.
Martin noisily clears his throat.
Maybe you've heard about Nashville Base. While preparing the materials for this mission, I came across a short documentary film about the complex. I think you should watch it.
The speakers produce a hollow click. Purple, gray, and black spots flicker on the screen. A blurred title The Cronus Archive 1971 to 1974 was used in the production of this recording, appears at the bottom. The shadow of an airplane flies across a faded yellow desert. A cheery voice fills the room. Every day, our researchers uncover more and more of the dome's secrets. There is no doubt the underground structures, so-called objects, are organized according to some pattern. Though early on, the importance of the relics to scientific research was considered insignificant. The desert dims into the black of a chalkboard. White lines drawn by an invisible hand begin to sketch a schematic of the dome. The narrator continues. By 1972, however, many important discoveries had come to light in a period of only a few months, and the construction of stationary research bases adjacent to the more promising objects began. Personnel moved into Ankara in May of 1972, and within half a year, Boston and Dessau were also brought into service, though the biggest discovery was yet to come. The picture changes to a chasm suffused with electric light, people bustling about everywhere. The speaker's voice seems to come from a distance. In November of 1973, a massive network of underground caves and a structure of hitherto unseen complexity was discovered in Sector C-12. Soon afterwards, the construction of C-12 Nashville began. The camera glides through dim caverns as the silhouettes of bizarre mechanisms emerge. Metal structures loom up from the dark, surrounded by earth-moving machines and exhausted miners wearing orange jumpsuits. The speaker continues. C-12 Nashville is an innovative research complex located atop the primary relic mining location. The complexity of this object is unique. Communications. The film abruptly cuts out, and Kingsley's face reappears.
The rest of this information is classified. Hopefully you get the main idea. Nashville is a very special place, requiring people with both special qualifications and special clearance level, though yours will do for your task.
Martin adjusts his glasses.
So, the task. Nashville base stopped transmitting and receiving signals yesterday evening. A reconnaissance group was sent out earlier today, but we haven't heard anything from them yet either.
The chief officer rubs his forehead.
Normally, I would never give this task to a newcomer like yourself, but I just don't have enough people.
He looks down at the documents again.
Furthermore, the group was lacking someone with your specialization. I decided that a visit to an established base like Nashville didn't require an armed escort. That may have been a big mistake.
Kingsley is looking into the camera once more.
Your task is to get to Nashville, figure out whatever's behind the communication problem, get in touch with the group, and work with them to solve the problem.
The chief officer carefully returns the documents to the folder. You notice his hands tremble slightly.
Go downstairs. The truck must be waiting for you in storage. This task is urgent, but a small delay is acceptable if there's anything you need to settle here first. That is all. Any questions?
Kingsley's hand reaches toward the camera.
Great to hear. Take care of yourself. I'll talk to you later.
Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World a better place. Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Fighters Group 2. They bring such cool stuff from Nashville.
World, a better place. Attention, attention.
Welcome Under the Dome, an amazing excursion to a world of new technology and the riddles of an ancient civilization. Listen to this information, useful for all wings, and receive a colorful leaflet.
Wow, variable wavelength. Maybe it's a
Welcome under the
reaction
dome.
to the scanner?
Here we go again. Having a bad day? Squabble with the wife.
Attention, attention. Please handle records carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Go back out there?
Remember, honest work will make the
Well, I guess I'm going back to Campbell then.
world a better place.
Hey, can you spare a cig? I'll have a puff to pass the time until the storm ends, and then go. It's my last one. You're heartless, Ulf. Did I tell you that before? Well, I'm telling you again.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Welcome Under the Dome, an amazing excursion.
Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. World, a better place. Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Wow, variable wavelength. Maybe it's a reaction to the scanner?
Welcome Under the Dome, an amazing excursion to a world of new technology and the riddles of an ancient
Sydney playfully smooth Sydney. What Sydney leans on the counter.
Honestly, lady, I'd sell you this entire place and give you an incredible discount if I could. But I'm not the one who sets the prices.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
The silver winks at you. It's quite awkward.
I'm happy to chat about something other than work. I hope you don't mind a little conversation.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully.
Welcome under the dome, an amazing excursion to a world of new technology.
Variable wavelength. Maybe it's a reaction to the scanner?
Remember, our honest work will make the world a better place. Well, a better place.
Hi there. It's nice.
The highway leading to C-12 Nashville is blocked by an anomalous storm, and you're forced to detour over a mountain pass. Soon, the radiator boils over, and you have to stop. Clara lifts up the hood and thoroughly examines the steaming radiator.
The engine's boiling, so we'll have to wait. You do know what happens when a car boils, right? It's...
The Blue shuts her mouth abruptly and stares anxiously at the dark funnel cloud down. Morgan turns on the radio. The air is filled with white noise and distant, barely audible voices. Clara shakes the device, then shakes her head.
See? The radio isn't working either.
The Blue looks at the engine again.
We wait. As soon as it cools down, we'll go. This storm worries me more, but it's not an insurmountable problem. I heard there are some relics at the local gas station that protect against anomalies. You could even accidentally step on one out here, they say. Mysterious are the ways of the Lord.
Your companion perks up a bit. She seems to be interested in this subject.
This place is registered as a resource anomaly zone. Do you know what that is? It's when the relics mined there have been studied and deemed useful. Not much is known about these relics. They dampen anomaly fields, even very strong ones. They're also found in other parts of the dome. They're known as bronze apples or aluminum apples. I don't remember, but something like that.
Morgan thinks for a moment.
It's a combination cafe gas station called Roadside Picnic. Never been there myself, but there's something off about it. There are several anomalies around there and weird relics. Supposedly, machines and structures decay much faster than they should in that area. But maybe that's just a story.
Who the hell goes there? Come on in, since you're already here.
A weird, scruffy old man with a matted beard is sitting in front of the checkout terminal. The badge on his blue jumpsuit is long since bleached away. The name Aaron Melville is written there in black marker. With a groan, he picks up a magnifying glass and, peering through it, begins poking at the keyboard with one knobby finger. The computer plays a short tune. Checkmate, the system declares. The old man angrily sets the magnifying glass aside.
A Grandmaster? You're a piece of junk, not a Grandmaster. And a cheater to boot.
He raises his head to squint in your direction.
Eh? What do you want? I don't advise eating here, and there's nothing to buy. And either way, we're closed.
The shopkeeper rises from his seat, and you notice he's sporting a peg where his left leg should be. The old man throws up his hands with a scowl.
Then go fix it.
Melville reluctantly points a crooked finger at the front door.
Go out there and walk over to the gas station. Go down to the basement. There's an anomaly, a tree. It's glowing. And there are some golden thingies hanging off it. We make special devices from that fruit called anomaly protectors. Should one be laying around on the floor, go grab it, then put it in the truck and bug off to... Where was it you was going to? That's where you bug off to.
The blue starts slapping the pockets on his overalls. After a little digging, he pulls out a little key on a shoelace.
Only take the device, you hear? It's company property. I should be charging you myself, as a matter of fact.
Let them get away. Now you're gonna get it.
I'll make research samples out of you.
Shoot them already.
smack you up.
I am the law.
Eat shit and die.
I'll definitely get promoted when this is over.
Oh! Clip's empty. Reloading.
Someone catch this on camera.
Oh!
Poke you in the eye with my
Now
shank.
you're gonna get it. Poke you in the eye with my shank.
Bring it on.
Aim for the head, the brain.
Ow! Ow! You are surrounded. Ow!
Poke you in the eye with my shank.
Damn! Need to reload.
Poke you in the eye with my shank.